Hey everybody, today on Garrett's Subaru, the channel, we're in the Subaru right now, actually, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to be working on the Subaru, we're going to be working on my mom's Mazda 5. We have to switch the rear struts, because they were leaking apparently, and the back is pretty cool to ride, and whenever you ride it, it goes up and down. It's pretty cool, so we're going to go change the struts. Just to keep this channel relevant, I suppose, here's the Subaru right now. Doing good. Here's the Mazda 5 that we'll be working on, and there's crap in the way. Should probably move that, but we'll get to that. It has some bad rear struts, and how you can tell is by this. I'll try to make it so that it's a little high. Oh well, you'll be able to see it. What do you got to do? Just bounce the back up and down, and it is bouncing like crazy without me touching it. So you can see where the strut is leaking. Yeah, that's no good. So we're gonna change that. Tools that you will need may include a 12mm deep socket. I used a 1/4-inch ratchet. You can use whatever. A 17mm socket. I used a deep impact socket on a 3/4-inch ratchet. Doesn't matter what you use. A breaker bar to get your wheels off. A torque wrench to put them back on. A 21mm socket with an extension to go over the lug nuts. A 13mm wrench. I use a ratchet wrench. You can use whatever. A pair of vice grips. And of course the new shocks. Optional equipment that might come in handy might include a small hammer, a bigger hammer, and then a much bigger hammer. This is what we're going to be putting on the car. They are KYB shock absorbers. They're stock replacements, I believe. And they look a little something like this. To return the camera, probably shouldn't do that. Let me put it on the ground. These are totally planned videos, by the way. You can tell. That's what they look like. And they're going on there, and it's going to be cool. Alright, now that I have the camera set up, let's get to work. Start by taking the tires off. If you can't do this, you probably shouldn't be replacing the shocks, so I'm really just not going to go over it. Jack the car up so the two back wheels are off the ground and you can get access to the struts once you take them off. Make sure to use jack stands, otherwise the car might slip and bash your head into the concrete, and that's just something you don't want to have to deal with. Once the tire is off, you can look up into the wheel well and see two 12mm bolts. Take the D12 socket and take them off like I'm doing in this shot. Once those are done, look at the bottom of the shocks behind the brake rotor. You should see a 17mm bolt pushing to the outside of the car. Take this off with a 17mm socket. Make sure to not try and take off the weld nut directly behind the brake rotor, because it's a freaking weld nut. I tried taking it off before I realized it was a weld nut, and yeah, it's a weld nut. Just don't take it off, man. Here's the strut. It's off, or the shock. I'm just gonna say strut. All right. So what you're gonna have to do now is there's a bolt right here. I think it's like a 14mm bolt. It's not 12. We're going to take that off so you can get this top part off, and these things right here. So I'm going to go do that real quick. Pretty self-explanatory. If you can't do it, then you probably haven't gotten the shock off itself, so don't even worry about that. Okay, so this is the bad shock. As you can see, it goes up and down kind of freely. It's all gunk, you can hear it. It's just not a good situation. And then here's the good shock. You can see it has this metal part on here instead of like that plastic one. Different bushings, and it wants to compress. It compresses nice and slow. and comes back up nice and slow. So that's a good shock. Let's go put it on the car. Before the shock can go in the car, you have to put on the dust cover, the top part thing. Put the dust cover on the thing, wait till you hear a snap, you'll know, and then put the nut on. Once you have the nut on as tight as possible, put the wrench on and take the vice grips and put them on the little tab above the wrench, and then turn it until it's tight. Alright, so we're about to install the shock now. Got the bottom bolt, it's going to go on first, it's going to go through here. It goes right in the car, so here we go. Compress the shock a little bit so that you can easily get it in there. Just put it through the hole and line it up with the bolt so it's ready to go on. Once it's lined up, put the bolt through. You might have to jiggle it a little bit, but just get it in there and loosely put it in. Once you have that done, line up the tops, put it on the studs, and get ready for the nuts to go on. Tighten up the first nut like so. And then the second one. Pretty simple. Okay, we got the shocks installed, so now we're going to see if it bounces like it did before, and it shouldn't. So, here we go. There you go. As you can see, it didn't bounce at all, which means our fix works. So, that's good. So here we are back in the Subaru. You can see Subaru. So that was that. Pretty simple. It took 2 hours. Not. I don't even know what time it is. I don't even have my keys to know what time. So I have no idea how long it took. It didn't take very long though. Hopefully I'll be back soon with some more Subaru videos. I'm trying to get a camera mount. I tried making one. Let me find it here. I tried making one. There's suction cups on here too. It just didn't work. So I'm probably just gonna buy one now that I actually have some money from selling some parts. So I'll be back with some of that, and I hope to see you guys soon.